Hi, everybody. Welcome. Happy Wednesday, by the way. Welcome to Harley Carnes podcast and Harley on the headlines. We're going to get right to it. And just a reminder that, like everyone who's trying to build something online, I need your subscribing, liking, following, email sharing help, you know. As my mama used to say, may the good Lord bless and keep you doing the right thing in this life. Benjamin Netanyahu has joined the Board of Peace, a growing coalition of world leaders who want to see good things happen in the Middle East. You know, they want to see the Gaza peace effort succeed and the people there given an opportunity to prosper, to grow an economy and become a good neighbor to Israel and all the other countries in the Middle East. This is interesting to watch because what President Trump is building is a task-specific mini UN, and 8 nations have signed on already. Many more have been invited, including some you might not expect. Already in are the UAE, Belarus, Argentina, Morocco, Vietnam, Hungary, Kazakhstan, and of course the U.S. and Israel. We're still waiting to hear from Canada, Britain, France, Russia, and at the moment, politics over Greenland has gotten away, with Britain and France talking about refusing to join. Confused here. What has the tiff over Greenland got to do with bringing peace and prosperity after centuries of enmity in the Middle East and Gaza in particular? Britain is saying that Russia and peace are incongruent ideas because Vladimir Putin makes war in Ukraine. So Britain doesn't like it that Russia has been invited to be part of a peace effort. Like I said, it's interesting to watch. A bold move in an effort to make good things happen, an unwillingness to include countries that do not see eye to eye. It is no echo chamber. It snows in Russia. I mean, it snows a lot in Russia. Maybe it's worse than Alaska. I started to say it's like Alaska. Maybe worse. Several feet of snow fell on Petropavlovsk on the Kamchatka Peninsula. 2 people have died when snow fell off of rooftops and crushed them. The town is at a standstill because snow drifts reach the 2nd floor of buildings. Doorways are blocked by snow. People can't find their cars because they're buried under tons of new snow. And we think winter's rough. By the way, if you go online looking for images from that storm, please understand some of them are AI fakes. And you got to look to figure it out, if you can. Dozens of TikTok videos are bogus. You know, it's getting to the point you can't trust anything on TikTok because there's so much fakery there and elsewhere. Grains of salt are needed. Mexico has sent another 37 drug cartel members to the U.S. for trial. This is at the request of the Trump administration. That's 37, in addition to the 29 who were sent back in February, nearly a year ago. Another 26 just this past August, all bound for trial and likely federal prison. Oil tanker number 8 has been seized from Venezuela by the U.S. There's been another strike against a drug cartel smuggling fast boat. 4 more people killed. Another load of drugs sent down to Davy Jones. And just in case you thought the big cartels might be reeling, not yet. Officials in Guatemala say its forces are on alert because of violent activity by the Sinaloa cartel. Cartel soldiers have attacked several communities, just folks who happen to live along the Mexican border, and they have fought with Guatemalan troops, too. They are mostly battles between cartels for turf, fighting over territory, with President Trump making things expensive, not just for Venezuela, but for any cartel trying to move drugs over the ocean. The powerful drug organizations are trying to solidify their logistics on land. Fortunately, Guatemala and Mexico are working more together these days. The U.S. Attorney's Office for the Southern District of New York has just unsealed the narco-trafficking indictments against Nicolas Maduro and his wife, Celia Flores. Among the charges, narco-terrorism conspiracy, cocaine import conspiracy, possession of machine guns and other destructive devices, and conspiracy related to the weapons. U.S. Attorney Jay Clayton said the leaders of Venezuela imported thousands of tons. He said thousands of tons of cocaine into the U.S., and Maduro was at the forefront of that corruption. Among Maduro's partners in crime is a who's list of really, really bad people. The Sinaloa drug cartel, the Zetas cartel, both in Mexico, Tren de Aragua in Venezuela, communist rebel groups in Colombia, including FARC and ELN. He said Maduro gave the smugglers diplomatic passports and diplomatic cover for the planes that brought the money, huge money, into Venezuela from Mexico and elsewhere. As for the wife, she's allegedly part and parcel in the criminal enterprise she's going down to. This has to be one of the dumbest Guinness records yet. But hey, no one else has done it, so David Rush, who owns hundreds of records, decided to add yet another. He went to a technology trade show in Salt Lake City, and he corralled 11 of his buddies to be part of it. 12 people, each with 2 balloons. Their challenge, keep it bouncing up in the air for a full minute. All 24, well, make it 25 balloons, because all of the 12 people had to have at least 2 balloons because the record was 24. Of course, David Rush added an extra one for himself. That makes 25. Now, here's the rule. All 12 balloons must not touch the ground, and all of the balloon bouncers had to remain standing. For instance, you couldn't dive for a falling balloon to keep it from hitting the floor. Sounds easy, but that is 12 people, 12 variables in the problem. And if you've ever bounced a balloon repeatedly, you know it can easily go where you didn't intend. Plus, as I said, each person had to manage 2 balloons. And, of course, Rush had to do 3. That was a total of 25. And they did it, kept moving it aloft for a full minute, all of them up in the air. And at the end, by the way, all the balloons had to be safely caught, not allowed to fall to the floor. And they all had to be pretty big, too. They're about, this big, 11, 12 inches across. A dumb Guinness record? Yeah. But like all of them, there's a little bit more to it than meets the eye, at least at first glance. Well, that's it for today's Harley on the Headlines. Thank you very much for checking it out. Please come back. Let some other folks know about it. Hit like, subscribe, follow, send an email, include a link to the show. It all helps. I'm Harley Carnes, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. So please fly safe.